Hey everyone, Therese here. I hope you enjoyed this 6-step video that I made for you to quantum leap into the reality that you desire to live now. Let's talk about quantum leaping. And no, I am not talking about the TV show from the 1980s starring Scott Bakula, which I was obsessed with and it was totally rad and watched regularly. No, I am talking about jumping from one reality to a parallel reality. To quantum leap is a term that comes from quantum physics, and it's referring to a particle moving from one state to another abruptly or simultaneously. And we actually can do this in our own lives. Let's look at the nature of what we call reality. We actually live in a quantum field. And what this means is that there are multiple dimensions, multiple timelines that are playing out simultaneously. This means that all probable versions of you are playing out at the same time in the quantum field. So all versions of you exist simultaneously. Now here's the crazy thing. These different timelines, these different dimensions, they are like razor thin veils, one right next to the other. The way I like to see it in my mind is, you know how when you go to Bed Bath & Beyond and you see the shower curtains all lined up next to each other? That's how thin the difference is between each possible reality. The dimensions closest to your current reality set point have only subtle variations from what you're experiencing now. This might look like something like a purchase that you didn't make in this reality, you made in the one right next to you. Whereas the dimensions that are further apart, further away from this current experience, have drastic differences between the reality you're experiencing now and them. Our logical mind tells us that time is linear, that it moves in a logical progression, and yet this is not the nature of the universe. The universe is not linear. It's rather a rotating circular spiral. Because of this, our consciousness is free to move to any point in time, any direction in space, any dimension that it can align to as a frequency. Therefore, your personal experience has less to do with what reality will logically play out and more to do with what reality you tune into. Like a radio dial tuning into different stations, you can move your consciousness to different frequencies and allow yourself to move into a different timeline, a different parallel reality where what you desire to play out does play out. And I'm going to teach you to do this right now. The first step is to choose your channel. This means you need to set an intention of what it is you want to experience in this new reality. Once you've set the intention of what it is you want to see in this new reality, you need to visualize the other you that has exactly what you want. Now you need to ask the other you some questions about how they are or have what you want. Step 4 is to listen to their advice. You know, sometimes when we get advice from higher versions of ourselves or other versions of ourselves, we don't necessarily believe what they have to say because it doesn't seem logical. But remember, this is not about logical progression. This is about leaping to a new experience. Now that other you has given you the exact steps to receive the reality you desire, you need to create a portal. To do this, I like to use any doorway or perhaps a significant marker like a line on the sidewalk. You intend that as you cross the threshold, you move into the new dimension. The final step is to believe that you're doing it. Belief in a specific reality aligns you consciously to that dimensional reality. Remember, you have to believe it to receive it. One final thought I want you to remember is that it takes time to hold a new frequency. The reality you're in is a frequency in itself, and it's a pattern that you've been practicing daily, nonstop, without even thinking about it. So doesn't it make sense that you're going to have to practice with effort a new frequency in order to hold it? It takes much effort to overcome a dominant pattern, but it can be done. All you have to do is follow these 6 steps again and again, practicing like it's choreography. I hope you enjoyed this video and these tips. If you do, subscribe to my channel, Blythe Starlight on YouTube, and hit the little notification bell so that you get notified every time I release a new video. I plan on releasing more of these soon, and I'd love to hear your feedback. Until then, stay magical.